Hey guys, it's Zach here, and today we're kicking back to the past with a highly niche film from the short-lived era of caveman exploitation. It's Master of the World, aka Il Padrone del Mondo, the 1983 prehistoric adventure film from Italian director Alberto Cavallone. It's wild, it's weird, it's wonderful, in a sort of strange way. Part of Vinegar Syndrome's list of January releases to start off 2022, we have a physical release to check out. Packed with the film and some extras, before we get to our copy, let's talk a bit about the film itself, because let's be honest, not everyone is going to enjoy this one. The film opens like a nature documentary. We have a variety of landscape shots, animals, and even humans, as a narrator who sounds straight out of a PSA tape introduces us to the lore of the world. He tells us about the mighty bear and how it's an animal of God sent to protect man. As such, the humans of this world revere the great bear. However, too soon does our formal narrator leave us as the film plunges into the prehistoric world of man. From here on out, there's absolutely no dialogue. There is, however, plenty of grunting, yelling, and more as we come to find that there are two warring tribes in the area, the Khan tribe and the Acre tribe. The only reason I even know their names, however, is because they're listed in the end credits. The two tribes are often fighting over the bearhead idol, seemingly all the time throughout the film. As such, there's plenty of caveman action to be had. One day, however, a medicine woman from the Khan tribe finds a man wounded and near death. She alerts the rest, and they soon come to investigate. Deciding the man could be dangerous, they go to execute him. But before they can, the medicine woman stops them and decides to care for the man herself, giving us our two protagonists for the film, the medicine woman and the outsider. She tends to his wounds and oversees his full recovery, and the interactions between the two are a primary focus for the film. But it's often interspersed with various scenes and events involving the greater tribe members and their daily encounters. The people deal with many challenges, including thunderstorms, wildfires, and heck, even aggressive wildlife. But they also relish in the delights of the world too. From cooked meals to soothing rains, the environments are varied and beautiful, and the action is bloody and brutal. This film isn't a complete gore fest, but when it does show up, wow is it gnarly. From eating brains straight out of people's skulls, to slowly decapitating someone with a rock, Master of the World had my gut wrenching in a good way. That, however, is sort of where the praise ends. This film is like a strange, low-budget peek through time. It uses a lot of stock footage for the animals, cutting back and forth in a highly noticeable dip in camera quality. It can make for some hilarious moments, like when some men are being attacked by wolves, but every time they have to be on screen at the same time, the wolves are suddenly German shepherds. I have to admit I was laughing in a good way, as this sort of cheesy stuff can be quite entertaining, but I totally see it as a turn-off for some. My biggest issue when watching this film, however, is that I was beyond confused half the time about what exactly was going on and who was who. Without names, dialogue, or even distinguished costumes, it's tough to tell which character is which or what tribe they belong to. In fact, there were several times where I could have sworn our main characters were being attacked by people who were their friends 30 minutes earlier. Half the other cavemen looked so similar and indistinguishable from each other that I had to just turn down my thoughts and let the prehistoric mayhem melt my brain. Maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the editing, but either way, I'll just resolve to the answer that when dealing with cavemen characters and cavemen stories, caveman logic must apply. So if you're thinking of jumping into this film, just remember it's 105 minutes of unga-bunga chaos with no dialogue or reasoning. I definitely enjoyed this one and wouldn't mind putting it on again. However, I definitely think this will be one of the lesser-liked releases from this month's subscription box. Either way, let me know what you think down in the comments. Until then, we've got a physical copy from Vinegar Syndrome to unbox, so let's go check out our release. Here we are with Vinegar Syndrome's release of Master of the World. We have some awesome looking artwork on the front and back of the slipcover, and I love the drawings, the shadings, and the colors. Of course, as always, the slipcover is of high quality, with an embossed title on the front and sides. Underneath is of course our clear Blu-ray case, with matching artwork on the sleeve, and all the release information on the back. Inside, we have a single Blu-ray disc, and while the sleeve is not necessarily reversible this time around, we do have some crazy looking artwork on the inside. I would love for Vinegar Syndrome to start doing posters with their standard line releases, as I would have loved to have any of these in poster form. But I digress. With that, we've unboxed our physical copy of Master of the World, and there's a few extras included in this release. So let's head on over and check out what's on the disc. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative, Master of the World looks amazing. After the feature presentation, we get 2 major supplements, as well as an original theatrical trailer. Our primary extra is a pair of interviews running about 40 minutes long each, for a total of 80 minutes. The first interview is titled Quest for Survival and is with assistant director Stefano Pomiglia, whose father, Niccolo Pomiglia, was the producer for Master of the World. Pomiglia talks about his father's legacy, including his distribution work in the home media world, as well as his work as a film producer. From there, he moves into discussion about Master of the World in particular, and the various aspects about the film, from his father's work in the production, to various details about the movie itself. For those interested in further analyzing scenes, depictions, and more from Master of the World, Pomiglia's discussion is a lengthy watch that's filled with all sorts of tidbits and information. Our second interview is titled 200,000 Years Ago, and features Davide Polizzi, a biographer of director Alberto Cavallone. Polizzi's interview involves a heavier focus on Cavallone himself, discussing our featured director's career in whole, from his beginnings in the industry to his extensive filmography. He goes on to spotlight Master of the World, from its roots in Cavallone's interest in the then rising in popularity Stone Age films, to various aspects of the movie, from gore to environments. Overall, these 2 interviews are interesting enough for those really interested in Master of the World in particular, or even in learning more about director and writer Alberto Cavallone. However, if you do watch the film and really aren't interested in it much further, then these videos aren't going to do anything to change your mind. They're lengthy and heavily involve a lot of production talk, but without behind-the-scenes footage, these discussions can start to drag a bit. I appreciate the time and talk, but they don't do enough to really enhance the way I view the movie. With that, however, we've completed our look at Vinegar Syndrome's release for Master of the World, Il Padrone del Mondo. If you're a Vinegar Syndrome subscriber, let me know what you thought about this release in the comments. If you've yet to see the film, let me know what your initial thoughts are based on this. Is there something that grabs your attention, or did you find it a boring slog that pales in comparison to other similar films such as Quest for Fire? I think I enjoyed it more than others, but I definitely see the flaws. Either way, thanks so much for joining me here on Pajama Theater. Like this video and subscribe to support the channel, and as always, thanks again, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.